What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is BDJ Gaming. Was Brandon Nation Gaming and also Lonzo Nation Gaming, but I decided to change it to make it easier to find. So hopefully that didn't confuse a lot of y'all. I apologize if it did. The New York Mets, a team that's taken a step back, but still has a very good roster. A roster that can still compete. They added, I think, Harrison Bader and a few others. Let's go to the roster real quick before we get this franchise underway. So the rotation, they got Senga, who they signed that big deal. He was very good last season, 2.98 ERA. He'll be our ace. Jose Buto, who's been pretty good. Looks like he only pitched 4 innings in 2022, 42 innings last year. The 3.64 ERA, he's only 26, so that's definitely a good thing for our rotation. We got Sean Manaea, David Peterson. Looks like maybe him and Senga are hurt. That's why they're in AAA. Luis Severino, who they signed, longtime New York Yankees, just hasn't really been able to stay healthy. When he has been healthy lately, it's just not been good. But when he was healthy for a few years, he was really good. Jose Quintana, who they have one more year on. He's 35. Been very reliable for them when he's been healthy. This problem is he hasn't been healthy very much. So this rotation, obviously, it don't have your Verlanders, it don't have your Scherzers, don't have your DeGroms or Noah Syndergaards anymore, but it's still a very solid rotation. It's definitely going to be something we got to work on, though. But I do like the starting point of Senga and Buto. The rest, we'll see how they perform. Bullpen, they got Brooks Raley, former Tampa Bay Ray, Cub, Astro, he's been on a lot of teams. Jorge Lopez, who really was shut down for the Orioles a few years ago in 2022, and he got traded to the Twins, I'm pretty sure. But he's just not been able to stay healthy and really hasn't been the same since. Who knows if that year was just an outlier year and now teams haven't figured it out, or if he can get back to that level. They got Adam Ottavino, who's been a Met for a few years now, 38, but still pitching very good. Jake Diekman, who's been reliable most of his career, lefty out of the bullpen. Reed Garrett, who will probably be getting his overall raise because he's been very, very good for the Mets this season. And you got Drew Smith. And then let me see if there's any starting rotation. Okay, they got Jack Wenninger. I think I'm pronouncing that right. That's their only really top pitching prospect. So they don't really have a lot of top pitching prospects. They don't really have a lot of starting pitching in general. And then closer, you got Edwin Diaz, who's under contract till 2029, so we don't got to worry about our closer. Also, Cole Sulser, who's been around, good for 2021 for Baltimore, but other than that, just hasn't really been able to stay consistent or healthy. Francisco Alvarez, their young stud catcher. Catcher ain't nothing we got to worry about. He's been a stud for them. I think he got hurt, which is unfortunate. Omar Narvaez, backup catcher. And then you got Tomas Nido, first base, Pete Alonso, which we'll have to make a decision on him because he's in the final year of his deal. So that's going to be something we have to decide on. G-Man Choi in the minor leagues. And you also have Mark Vientos. And then Jeff McNeil, second base. He's 32. He's under contract till 2028. So maybe that's somebody we could either put in utility role eventually or just keep having as a second baseman. They also have this young stud, Ronnie Mauricio, who's their young second baseman. They got Brett Beatty, young third baseman, and then Joey Wendell, utility guy. Shortstop, we got Francisco Lindor, one of the best in the game, no doubt. Got him signed till 2032. JD Martinez was a good free agent pickup for them. He'll be probably DH. Brandon Nimmo in left field as well. He's signed till 2031. And then we got Harrison Bader, who I'm a huge Harrison Bader guy. Most of you guys know me. I'm a Cardinal fan. He was a stud for the Cardinals defensively. Hasn't really hit consistently in his career, but he's a hell of a fielder, that's for sure. They also got Drew Gilbert, center fielder, only 23 years old, A potential. And then they got Starlin Marte in right field. And then Tyrone Taylor as well, who they got from the Brew Crew. So you can see this team has a lot of money tied up in the guys. I mean, JD Martinez, only 1 year deal, but they got Nimmo signed for numerous years. Lindor, which you can't hate him for that, or Nimmo's deal. You got Edwin Diaz making a lot of money. You got Senga making not really a ton of money, but so this team, listen, the Mets spent a lot of money. It didn't work out. Sometimes it don't. I don't know if I'll take that approach, but I definitely am trying to win with this team. Rotation, maybe third base. We'll see how Brett Beatty does. And maybe center field, depending on how Bader does this season. But this team's not that bad of a team on paper. We'll have to see how they perform. But I really like this roster. So let's get this underway. I want to take a look at free agency since they updated the rosters and anybody we could sign. Kevin Huntley, only 24 years old. That could be somebody we sign. So I'm going to release Josh Walker, sign Kevin Huntley, see if he can help out our bullpen eventually. Brandon Bell, we're already good at first base. Jace Peterson could be a utility guy. They also got Ronald Acuna's brother, who they got in the Scherzer deal, I believe. Luis Angel Acuna, who's really good in Diamond Dynasty. If you guys haven't played that, he has a really good card in that. Evan Longoria. Not really any big free agents. So I'm going to get this franchise underway. I'll see how we're looking the trade deadline. Maybe make some few trades before then. I'll let you guys know how it's going. We had a injury go on, and Brett Beatty is out 1 to 2 months with a fractured shin. Wasn't really playing that great anyways. So we're going to get Christopher Moreau, who's having a pretty solid season. The average is down, but he has 15 home runs, adds more power. He can play pretty much anywhere. Really good player. We're going to trade Tyler McGill, who's in the minor leagues right now. He's 28. Pitching pretty good, could help out the Cubs. And then we're going to trade them Jet Williams, a 20-year-old who could really develop into something. He's playing okay in Double-A, and then we're going to give them a young outfielder named Stanley Consagra, who's in Double-A as well, playing pretty solid. So I think it's a pretty fair package. So we get Chris Morel from the Cubbies. I'm going to trade off from the Rays, Zach Littell, who's 28, having a pretty solid season, 3.70 ERA. Was a relief pitcher, now a starter for Jose Quintana, who's declining in overall. Last year of his deal. Not horrible this year, but not where we really need him to be. So we can go and accept this trade. So solid player on the trade block. The Reds had Matt McLain on the trade block, 24 years old, B potential, already at 87 overall, can play pretty much anywhere. Not having a great season overall, but I think he could really help out our line. We're going to trade Ryan Clifford, a young shortstop, only 20 years old, really having a solid year in Double-A. We're going to give him Drew Gilbert. Might be a little bit of a gamble. He's only 23, A potential. Could really develop into something. But you got to give up something to get something, as I always say. And Starlin Marte, we're going to throw in. Going to give them some prospects to take on his contract. He's declining, not really having a great year. We could put Matt McLain in right field. So we add him to our already good lineup. So we are at our first trade deadline, and we're sitting at 57 and 52, above 500. We're not winning the division, 15.5 back of the Braves. We're just running away with the Phillies, are 8.5 back, and they have 63 and 44 record. We are in the wild card hunt, though, right behind the Phillies, tied with the Cubs, the Giants. Tied, but like pretty much in that same proximity as them. Brewers, Reds, Padres, D-backs are all in the hunt. So it's going to be a battle, that's for sure. Look through how everybody's doing real quick. Just skim through and not really take too much time. McNeil not having a good year. McLean hasn't really done good. JD Martinez having a remarkable year. P. Alonso's picked it up a little bit. Francisco Lindor has 20 home runs. Nemo's been solid. Not much power, but ain't really known for his power. Christopher Morel's having a solid year. Alvarez, power's a little down, but not a horrible year. Bader's having a remarkable year. So our lineup don't look horrible. And then our bench, Zach Short's been okay. Tomas Nido for backup catcher. I mean, that's not, don't expect too much. Tyrone Taylor's been pretty good, 10 home runs. And then Luis Angel Acuna has been pretty good. So bench ain't looking too bad. I mean, look at the rotation. Senga's numbers could be a lot better. Jose Buto is okay. Sean Manaea has actually been really good for us, 13 and 6, 2.67 ERA. Luis Severino's been good as well. That's unexpected surprise. And then Zach Littell, since we picked him up in the trade, has been pretty good. Look at the bullpen. Adrian Hauser's gave us good innings, 3.81 ERA. Dave Peterson's been good as well. Jorge Lopez has been good. Drew Smith, not great. Adam Ottavino's been excellent, 3.09 ERA. Kevin Huntley, the rookie we signed, 3.18 ERA. And he started off a little rough, too. Had like an ERA of like 8. Really, really stepped up. Brooks Riley's been really good as well, 2.30 ERA. And Edwin Diaz has been remarkable, 32 out of 35 saves, and then 2.21 ERA. So, I mean, our team looks pretty good. I think the rotation could use an upgrade. I did put some guys on the trade block who are free agents or, we could see what we can get for them. That's why you see a lot of our players on the trade block. We could go out and get a Taijuan Walker, but is he really any better than anybody we already have in the rotation? Like, if I look through other teams, like the Orioles have a lot of pitching. I don't know if they're going to trade any of them. The Yankees have some pitching. The Rays, we already made a trade with them. They do have a lot of pitching. Shane McClanahan, Drew Rasmussen, Zach Eflin, Aaron Savali. Like, they got some options. So Gonna look for somebody. So Aaron Savali would be a really good addition. He's having a really good year. We're gonna see who we can get for him, or trade for him, I should say. Let's see. Man, this is tough. Who do I get rid? Who do I try to include in this package? Naya's been good. Maybe include Luis Severino. And let's see. He's having a really good year, so I don't expect him to take anything really horrible for him. The only problem with this team is we trade a lot of our good prospects. Now, I'm not giving up a guy like Luis Angel Acuna or Ronnie Mauricio for Aaron Savali. If it was Shane McClanahan, I would definitely consider it. So let's see. Let's see. So they're more interested. This is tough. I just don't know if they're going to want to trade Shane McClanahan. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, we're trading them 3 good prospects and they're not interested. So maybe the Rays ain't an option. I know the Marlins have a lot of pitching as well. We already did a trade. Okay, the Astros have a ton of pitching, as we all know. So Christian Javier, Framber Valdez is having a bad year. He's injured as well. Luis Garcia, Lance McCullers Jr. is having a bad year. A lot of the underperforming Astros so far. Hunter Brown, could that be somebody we get and maybe try to put in our rotation? He's only 25. Let's see, I'm going to trade them Luis Severino. Do I want to give up our top pitching prospect? That's the big thing. He's pitching very well. Maybe Mark Vientos we throw in there. And maybe... I didn't realize we had an F prospect in our organization. That's wild. Man, they are being very. They really want somebody good for him. Even some of these other players, like, so they want Colin Huck for him. And we do have Lindor. I mean, we are getting Hunter Brown. He's 25. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this trade. I'm gonna get Hunter Brown and add him to this team. Hopefully, he helps out the pitching rotation. And we'll see. I mean, he adds a foundational piece for the next few years. So that's going to be the only move I make because we've already traded a lot of prospects and really changed this team. Hopefully, we make a wild card run. We'll have to see. The first season is in the books. We ended up missing the playoffs, finished 83 and 79. 1 game out of a wild card spot. Unfortunately, we lost way too many games. Well, not way too many games, but just too many games to really make a run. Disappointing end of the season. Thought we were going to sneak in as a wild card team. So let's see how everybody did before we get the second season underway and get the off season underway. So Jeff McNeil, not great. I mean, it's around his career numbers, but you know the average is down, the on base is down, slugging's a little down. Hopefully he bounces back. Matt McLain just, I mean, bro, like I expect a better. Hopefully he has a better year next year. We got to have him hitting in this lineup. Tyrone Taylor, who's hitting third. That's kind of wild. Let me put Nimmo. Okay, Nimmo had a really good year. 14 home runs, 74 RBIs, hit 300, slugged 451. Pete Alonso. We ended up signing Pete to an extension, $13.1 million a year. Figured that was a pretty reasonable deal he accepted. So we went ahead and got that covered. Because we'll have to focus on this rotation and get that, figured out. But Pete finished with 32 home runs, not bad. Lindor, 29 home runs. Numbers are a little down. Actually, never mind. They're not a little down. They're actually up from last season. My bad on that. JD Martinez had a monster year. I don't know if we'll bring him back because he's going to drop an overall heavy on his age 37. 45 home runs, 93 RBIs. Chris Morel gave us good production, 25 home runs. Francisco Alvarez, not a bad year. I mean, I can't really complain about that. Harrison Bader, do we bring him back? He had a really good year. 13 home runs, 41 RBIs, 285 average. And in the bench, Brett Beatty ended up coming back. This was injured most of the year, never really could get his offense going. Omar Narvaez, I think Tomas Nido got hurt or something, or maybe they called him up. Didn't really give us bad numbers, though. Tyrone Taylor had a really solid year as well in a platoon role with Bader, and then Luis Angel Acuna off the bench gave us good numbers. So the lineup didn't really look like it was much of a problem. Let's take a look at the pitching. Senga, is he an ace for us? I don't think he'll be an ace, but But I think if we get a number one or maybe another number two in here with him, we'll be fine. 10 and 12, 4.49 ERA. Jose Butto, 4.21 ERA. Not horrible. I think he's more of a number three starter, maybe a number four. Sean Manaea, second half numbers went up a little bit. Still, though, 16-11, the ERA like that's fine. David Peterson, bullpen rotation was kind of our swing man, as you say. 3.9 ERA, I'll take that. And Zach Littell was really good. So rotation didn't look horrible, but I do think we need to get number one in the offseason. Hunter Brown, looks like he got moved to the bullpen, which is interesting. Adrian Hauser gave us what we needed out of him. Solid numbers, innings. Hunter Brown was lights out, 3.31 ERA. I was a little worried about that trade. I didn't want that trade to backfire because we did give up a lot in that trade, but he'll definitely be a part of our bullpen / rotation going forward. Jorge Lopez was very good, 3.19 ERA. Adam Ottavino was excellent. Too bad he's 38 and have his overall just get destroyed. Kevin Huntley, not a good second half. Definitely need him to bounce back. Brooks Raley was good, 2.45 ERA. Jake Diekman ended up being injured and was down in the minor league just to not have a good year. And Edwin Diaz was lights out, 45 out of 49 in save opportunities. Just excellent year, 2.21 ERA. So we look at the team, not a bad team overall. I just think we're missing an ace, really. I mean, I think that's what our team needs is an ace. So let me see who wins the World Series before we get this first offseason underway. The Twins win the World Series. That is something I did not expect to see. So Cole Sosa retired. So we got some free agents to make decisions on. JD Martinez, Harrison Bader, Jorge Lopez, Ottavino, Drew Smith. So I'm going to go ahead and make all this happen, and I'll let you guys know the moves we make in the second season. So we're going to make a trade in the offseason, making a bunch of moves. The roster is going to look a lot different. We're going to trade Jose Butto, who, you know, he's not bad, but we have so many starting. We did end up signing Shane Bieber to be our ace. That's one move we did make. We needed an ace. I told you all that. Went out and got him, $24 million a year, coming off a really good year. We got Bieber, we got Singer, we got Manaea, we got Peterson, we got Littell, we got Hunter Brown, we got Jack Weininger, Joey LaCasey. Like, we got a surplus of starting pitching. We need some bullpen help. So I'm going to get Tyler Holton from the Tigers. Really good year last year, 28, signed for the rest of this franchise, and they wouldn't make this trade. Some of the moves before we get the second season underway. So we signed Shane Bieber. I showed you all that while we made the trade. So Bieber and Singer will be our 1-2 punch in the rotation. Really like that. Manaea, Peterson, Brown, Littell. So we got a really good surplus of starting pitching. And then Brooks Raley still in the bullpen. Tyler Holton, who we got in the trade. We signed Andrew Chafin to a 1-year, $4 million deal coming off a really good year. Jorge Lopez is back. Kevin Huntley, Reed Garrett. So we really only added Andrew Chafin. We tried to offer a lot of relief pitcher deals. There were just so many teams after relief pitching. So, I mean, we'll have to probably look at that at the deadline. Edwin Diaz, Alvarez, most of our lineup is still the same outside of Tyler O'Neill, who I did sign. So we got O'Neill and Bader, the Cardinal outfield reunion. Tyler O'Neill is a curse for me in franchise mode. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I always pick Tyler O'Neill, and he always plays horrible, but they did update his stats, thank goodness, for MLB The Show because he's been raking in Boston. So maybe that will be something that helps me out. We got him for 2 years, $10 million a year. I thought that was a pretty reasonable deal for Tyler O'Neill. So we add him to our team to be our DH. I really like this lineup. I think this lineup's going to be very good. So I'll see you guys at the trade deadline. We'll see how we're doing. So we have another trade offer. The Miami Marlins interdivision trade offering A.J. Puck, who signed through 2026. We have him for another season. He's 29, 4 years younger than Manaea, who's not having as good of a year. Their stats pretty equal, but A.J. Puck's younger and having a better year overall, so we're going to accept this. Our trade deadline, second season, 10.5 games out of first place. The Phillies are having a really good season, 72-37. Braves, 69-39. Looks like we're still in the wild card picture, though. Pretty identical to where we were last trade deadline, so we're sitting in a good spot. There ain't as many teams in the race. There's about 5 teams, us, Braves, D-backs, Reds, and Brew Crew. So let's see what everybody's been doing. Francisco Lindor, I mean, his stats are definitely down. I still think he'll have probably 30 home runs, but definitely need better production. Jeff McNeil's having a pretty good year, hitting 281, numbers up from last year. Matt McLain's having a good bounce back year. That's what I like to see. 19 home runs, 70 RBIs. Pete Alonso's having an already better year than last year. We gave him his money, and he is producing. Tyler O'Neill's having a pretty good year. I like to see that. It's better than how he usually performs for me. Good thing they raised his stats because it definitely made a difference. Brandon Nimmo's having a really good year, 17 home runs, 58 ribbies, 282 average, getting on base a ton. Tyrone Taylor having a down year overall. Chris Morel also having a down year. Francisco Alvarez having a better year. So our lineup at the, I'm going to go ahead and move Alvarez up a little bit and put Tyrone Taylor down. Bader did get hurt. That's why you don't see Bader in the lineup. I think he's out another month or two. Trace Thompson, we had to call up, not really doing too much. Zach Short's been meh. Tomas Nito's been good. And Luis Angel Acuna, even though he's not getting regular at-bats, is produced. So not bad for the lineup. Let's take a look at the pitching. Shane Bieber's been awesome, 11-4, 2.60 ERA. Senga, not horrible. Expect a little bit better numbers, though, from him. He has not been like a number 2 type so far in this franchise. Hunter Brown, down year so far. Hopefully he has a better second half. David Peterson's been reliable. Swingman role, rotation. He's been in and out. And then Zach Littell's been not great, but not horrible. Joey LaCasey's been solid out of the bullpen. AJ Puck. We'll probably put AJ Puck and move Littell to the bullpen. See if that can change some of the luck for these guys. Tyler Holton's been an awesome pickup. Man, 1.82 ERA. This guy's been awesome. Andrew Chafin's been good. Don't know how his overall is dropping. Kevin Huntley has not been great. Only 3 innings, but 8.10 ERA. Jorge Lopez, another good year, even better than last year. Brooks Raley, good year. Edwin Diaz, a little bit of a down year, 3.71 ERA. He still has 28 saves, but he's blown 5 saves. Already has more blown saves than all last season. So hopefully Edwin Diaz can get going in the second half. So we take a look at the trade block. I did put Matt McClain on there because I didn't know if he's going to have a down year or not. Just wanted to see if we can get anything for him. But the way he's been playing, don't see the point. Dansby Swanson's on the trade block. We're good with Lindor. Seeing pretty solid names available on the trade block, but it seems like our team's playing pretty good how it is. I still don't get how Jackson Holliday's on the trade block. That just no. But anyways, I think I'm going to ride this season out. I think we're playing good baseball. I don't really see a lot of weak links on our team. I mean, yeah, we could upgrade maybe center field, but once we get Bader back, kind of hoping for a lot of bounce back years. Let me see how long Bader's out real quick. So Bader is out 3 to 4 more weeks with a broken foot. And he was having a pretty solid year. So if we get him back and performing the way we're capable of performing, I can see us making a run. So we'll see how it goes. Second playoffs of this franchise. We didn't make it the first season. But second season, we ended up getting in as a wild card. Our division was stacked. I mean, the Phillies and Braves both won 100-plus games. Just a tough division overall. I mean, we've made some moves. Let's see how everybody's performed. Lindor ended up finishing with 28 home runs, around the same numbers as last year. A little down across the board, though, with average and OPS and slugging. So hopefully he bounces back and gets us into a playoff series. Jeff McNeil, not a bad year at all for him. Matt McClain, great bounce back year. Hit 29 home runs, 98 ribbies, 284, slugged over 500. Love to see that. Pete Alonso, don't know how his overall is dropping when he hit 44 home runs. But that's MLB for you. Tyler O'Neill, pretty good year. 23 home runs, 92 RBIs. Pretty identical to last season. Brandon Nimmo hit 24 home runs. Wow, that's a surprise, especially with the power stats he has in this game. Francisco Alvarez, good bounce back year. Not that last year was horrible, but definitely improved. Christopher Morel, a down year, needed him to produce better. Harrison Bader was hurt, so I mean, guess there's an excuse why his numbers are down across the board. He didn't really play a lot. He had that foot injury bothering him. Nito, not really great numbers. DJ Stewart. Tyrone Taylor, not great. And Luis Acuna was not bad. So let's take a look at the rotation. Shane Bieber gave us exactly what we needed out of an ace. 2.81 or 85 ERA, excuse me. Senga had a better second half, 500 record. 3.77 ERA. Hunter Brown was okay, not that he was horrible, just expected better numbers. David Pearson had a bad second half, and AJ Puck, for a fifth starter, I'll take that, but still expect these three to be better right here. Joey LaCasey was solid out of the bullpen. Zach Littell definitely had a bad second half. Free agent after the year, we'll see what we decide to do with him. Tyler Holton was remarkable, 1.35 ERA. Andrew Chafin had a solid year, 3.42 ERA. Kevin Huntley bounced back in the second half, huge, 2.84 ERA. Jorge Lopez was sensational, 2.12 ERA. Brooks Raley, good ERA for him. And Edwin Diaz bounced back, had 7 blown saves, but saved 40 plus again. So let's get this postseason underway. Us and the Braves. Wild card series. We're on the road. Got our ace Shane Bieber on the mound. Looking to make the playoffs. So here we go. Lindor. Double by McNeil. Doesn't lead to nothing. Let's see if Bieber. This Braves has Luis Arias now. Wow, that just makes their lineup even better. We're facing Spencer Strider. Solo shot by Francisco Alvarez gets us on the board. Let's see if Bieber can get that momentum going now. There's a double for McNeil. McNeil, 2 for 2. So Spencer Strider, besides that home runs, looked pretty sharp. Bieber's been shutting down this Braves offense. Lindor, there's 2 runs thanks to Matt McLain. And we're up 3-0 now. So the Braves end up scoring a run. An error leads to the, oh my goodness, 6 runs in the inning off of an error. That is not what you want to see. Maybe one more inning out of Bieber. Let's see if we can get this offense going. Dylan Lee in the pitch. Got 2 on, nobody out. We get 1 run in, and that's all we get. So let's take a pitching change. We got righty. So we have a lot of lefties in this bullpen, which I did not notice. We're going to bring in Jorge Lopez. Strikes out the side. Marcelo Iglesias in the pitch, the 8th inning. So we're going to go ahead and make another pitching change. We're going to bring in Tyler Holton, who's been remarkable. Shuts them down. Top of the 9th, down by 2. AJ Minter in to close it out. Lindor singles. Fly out. McLean, excuse me. Him and McNeil got me confused. Pete Alonso, 2 outs, 1 on, grounds out. So the Braves take game 1 of this wild card series. So not a good start. Really, that error hurt us by our defense against Shane Bieber. He had some trouble, but that error did not help. So we're looking for Senga to tie up this series. We're not on Lopez on the mound. We get a 3-run bomb by Pete in the first inning. Exactly what we needed. Get that momentum going. Braves don't score in the bottom of the first. There's another error. Senga looking to shut him down. He's pitched good so far through 2 innings. There's a leadoff double by Arias. And they score 2 thanks to Austin Riley. So 1-run game. Ronaldo Lopez, besides that first inning, has been really good. Senga's settling in a little bit better now. So top of the 7th, Tyler Matzik in the pitch. Shuts us down. Maybe 1 more inning out of Senga. We get it. So he was sensational. Nice 7 innings. Aaron Bummer in the pitch. We don't score. So time to bring in Brooks Raley here. Our setup man. Walk, single, bases loaded, nobody out. Strikeout, sack, fly, and strikeout. So at least he kept the game tight. It couldn't have been a lot worse. So Aaron Bummer against Alvarez walk. Chris Morel walks. Bader bunts him over. And a double play. Wow, that is not what you want to see. We got to keep this lead. Edwin Diaz in the pitch. Shuts him down. Aaron Bummer gets replaced by Dylan Lee. There's an error. Single. Strikeout. We score a run thanks to Tyler O'Neill. A.J. Smith-Shawver in the pitch. So let's see if Edwin Diaz can shut him down here. And he does. So we tie the series up. What a job by Edwin Diaz to keep that lead. So loser goes home. Game 3, do we put in David Peterson or Hunter Brown? I'm going to trust Hunter Brown. He was our big trade acquisition. Going to keep the lineup the same. Chris Sale on the mound. We score our early run thanks to McLean, who's been excellent in this series. Bases loaded. We score 2 more runs against Chris Sale. Can Hunter Brown shut down this Braves offense? He does not. Matt Olson with a 2-run bomb. So there's an error. Gets Bader on base. Single by McNeil. But doesn't lead to anything. So 1-run game. And there's a 2-run bomb by Alvarez. Gets us a 5-2 lead. Hunter Brown, those giving up some runs. It might be time to take him out. We can't afford to lose this game, obviously. So we're going to bring in Zach Littell. He gets out of it. Another walk for Sale. And it doesn't lead to anything. Zach Littell in a little bit of trouble. Gets out of it. You know what comes in the pitch. Gets out of the inning. Maybe 1 more inning out of Littell. Okay, it's time to change pitching. We're going to bring in Jorge Lopez against the righty. That's a 3-run home run for Austin Riley. Gets them the lead. That is a backbreaker. So we're going to bring in Kevin Hutley to make his postseason debut. He gets a double play. Tyler Matzik in the pitch. Maybe 1 more inning. No, he gives up a leadoff double. We're going to bring in Andrew Chafin. Bases loaded. Gives up 2, but gets a double play. So 3-1. Marcelo Iglesias in the pitch, the 8th inning. 1-2-3 inning. We're going to bring in Joey LaCasey. Solo shot by Orlando Arcia. It is 9-5. and our postseason dreams are shut down, ladies and gentlemen. It is a wrap for this second season. The Braves shut us down, win 5-9. Let's see who wins the World Series. The Phillies defeat the Rangers. So just not a good end to our season. Our pitching let us down. Our offense scored some runs. The pitching was not good. So we got some free agents to sign. Nobody really major, unless you count Jorge Lopez. Man, that's tough. We're gonna go get this final off season underway, and we'll get to our third and final season. Season of this franchise underway. We made one move in the off season. We got Ranger Suarez to add to our rotation. Our rotation is definitely a lot better than when we first started, as y'all see. Ranger Suarez 2-year deal or 3-year deal, excuse me, 9.7 million per year. Not really a bad deal. Coming off a really good last 2 seasons with the Phillies. I think he's really going to fit in with Senga and Bieber. I think that's really going to help us make another playoff run. And the lineup, like I said last season, the lineup hasn't really been an issue. I mean, yeah, we have a few, guys who underperform, but I think if they bounce back, our lineup will be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this third season underway. I will see you guys at the trade deadline. Nine, not horrible numbers, and our team still in the wild card hunt. But obviously the Phillies and Braves are running away with it. We're not running away with it, but they're usually in first or second place. It feels like. And, we still got a shot. So let's take a look at the team. Lindor's not been excellent. Jeff McNeil, good numbers. Matt McLean's on a little bit of a down year. Not horrible numbers, but a little bit down. Pete Alonso, Power's been kind of down. Nimmo, pretty good season. Morel's having a good bounce back season. Alvarez is having a solid season. Tyrone Taylor's been good in limited role because if you guys are wondering, Tyler O'Neill's out for pretty much the season because he got hurt as well. And then Brett Beatty's not been, great. He's underperformed as well, been hurt, just hasn't really been playing a lot. And then Kevin Parada's a young catcher we got, 24. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Harrison Bader, off the bench, not been bad. Carlos Cortez we called up, not been great. And then Luis Angel Acuna's not been great as well. So our lineup's a little bit underperforming. Shane Bieber's been excellent, 11-2, 3.12 ERA. Senga's been awesome as well. Good to see him putting up number 2 or ace type numbers. Ranger Suarez has been solid for a number 3. David Peterson's not been great, and Hunter Brown's not been great. So I'm going to put A.J. Puck back in the rotation and move Peterson to the bullpen. A.J. Puck overall has been really good, 3.92 ERA. Joey LaCasey's been solid. Tyler Holton, again, this guy has been unbelievable. Seems like he's kind of a cheat code in franchise mode, 1.48 ERA. Kevin Huntley, another good season. Even though he hasn't pitched a lot of innings in this franchise, still good numbers. Jack Winninger, our number 1 pitching prospect, we put him in a bullpen role because our bullpen's not been great. Not great, but hopefully he can improve. Jorge Lopez, down season. Hunter Harvey, who I forgot to mention, we did sign Hunter Harvey, who's been sensational, 2.05 ERA. And then Edwin Diaz has not been great. So I'm going to put Hunter Harvey in the closer role, see if that changes our fortune a little bit. Like, when it comes to moves we can make, like, obviously I see some moves we could make, but it's like, I look at this trade block. Brandon Marsh, we got a good outfield. I don't really see him being an option. Dansby Swanson's owed a lot of money, and I don't really think he's having a good year. Tommy Edman, could get Tommy Edman. Depends what the Dodgers would want. Jared Trielo, not bad numbers at all. Like, we could use an upgrade at third base. We go after a Jackson Holiday, even though that's not realistic. Like, it is realistic in the game, but I meant, like, why would they trade him? I'm going to see who they want for Tommy Edman, just to see who they want. They want Ranger Suarez and Tyler Holton. So if I trade them Brett Beatty, who's not been good for us at all. We have him in the minor leagues as well, Ronnie Mauricio. So we could call him up, actually, and not do a trade. I know Tommy Edman's a lot better, but I feel like Mauricio deserves an opportunity. I cannot talk. Deserves an opportunity. So look at that. Almost released Cortez right there. So I add him to the roster and do like a platoon with him and McNeil, maybe. Give an opportunity at second base. See how he does. He does have better numbers against righties, though. So I might have him play against righties and have McNeil play against lefties, even though that might be a little bit like confusing, but the numbers are better. So I'm just gonna, like I did last season, see how this team performs. I mean, we don't really have a ton of prospects to give up, even if we go out and make a deal. And I'm not really seeing a lot of people in the trade block that really are game-changing players for us. Obviously, we can go out and get a Dansby Swanson, but we have Lindor, we have a good outfield. Tommy Edman, not really worth giving up. He's not having a great season overall. Like, Tommy Edman numbers is good, but it's not really better than anybody we got. So I'm going to see how we finish this third season. It's over. We end up finishing with a pretty good record, 85 and 77, but the Marlins somehow just took off and ended up finishing 85 and 77. We ended up missing on the wild card by 1 game. Man, was this wild card division close. Probably on me. Shouldn't have made a move. League leader Shane Bieber led the league in innings pitched. Let's see what everybody did. Francisco Lindor, 19 home runs. Down year for Lindor overall. Ronnie Mauricio, good year for limited games and at-bats. Matt McLean, down year power-wise. Pete Alonso, down year a little bit, but still good numbers. Brandon Nimmo, about where he was last year. Can't be mad at that. Chris Morel had a better year. Still kind of expect him to be a little bit better, but not horrible numbers. Francisco Alvarez only hit 198. Did give us a little bit of power. Like to see a better average. Tyler O'Neill was hurt, and he still gave us 20 home runs. Brett Beatty ended up bouncing back a little bit in the second half, gave us 12 home runs and 241 average. So our lineup, you know, it shows a lot of hot symbols right now, but it looked like a lot of people underperformed in our lineup. Kevin Prada, not too bad for a backup catcher. Bader was hurt, I think, a little bit. No, that was O'Neill, excuse me. Bader just played off the bench. Jeff McNeil, not sure why he's on the bench. Oh, yeah, no, my platoon, my fault. I forgot about that. So Jeff McNeil, platoon role, good numbers. And then Tyrone Taylor gave us good numbers in the role as well. Let's take a look at the pitching. Shane Bieber finished with another good year, 18 and 4, 2.97 ERA. Kota Senga, good year for him. Rangers Flores down year, expected better numbers from him. AJ Puck for a 4-starter, you can take those numbers. And Hunter Brown has just not been consistently good for us. Not a good trade on my part getting Hunter Brown. David Peterson, I'll take that of a long relief pitcher. Tyler Holton once again, the franchise cheat code. If y'all want a good relief pitcher, I think he's on the Tigers. Get Tyler Holton because this guy puts up. Maybe it's just my franchise, but man, has he been spectacular. Kevin Huntley, even better year this year. Jorge Lopez, not a bad year, but definitely not where he's been the last 2 seasons. Edwin Diaz really had a down year. Sean Reed Foley didn't give us good numbers at all in limited innings. Man, that is bad. And Hunter Harvey gave us good innings in the closer role. 15 saves, 1.56 ERA. So let's see who wins the World Series. And we will end this video. Rangers defeat the Phillies. So Mets fans, I apologize. I probably could have made a little bit more moves. I had confidence in this lineup. They underperformed at times. I hope you guys did enjoy this franchise as much as I did. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next franchise video.